Hi everybody, Sanibonani, welcome to my channel Mdletshe, and on this channel siyazibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngawo lama shows. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi kanye ne notification bell so that you can get notifications uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. For those who want to be members of the channel, there is a join button la ngezansi. Please press it. The instructions are there on how to become a member. Also, if you want to give money to the channel, there's a thanks button. And also thank you so much to everybody that support the channel by watching adverts on our videos. Okay, so today you guys, I am going to do the full review of Isencane Lengane season 5 episode 2. Episode 1 was not full of too many events. As we all know, Isencane Lengane is always full of drama, even though we realized the season was actually going to be dramatic because Usiyacela is still up to no good. He's still cheating on his wife. I don't know, you guys, if really honestly his intentions to take the second wife, or he's just being stupid that he's always been, you know. So last episode, just as a recap, Ntando went and visited her grandmother Nkandla, and it was a great visit, you guys. We saw the grandmother drinking beer, and it was such a fun scene to watch. And also, and then Usiyacela was in Durban spending time with Ntando, trying to convince her that they must get back together. So I guess he managed to get back, he managed to convince her because they look like they are back together, you guys. So now when this episode starts, the scene number 1 is when they are at home. Olundi, Ntando kanye noSiyacela. Ntando is taking care of the baby, Isencane. And why am I feeling like Lengane lena iyashintsha? Like sometimes they put another child there as ingane yabo, because the child that I saw today looked different from the child we saw last week. But when a baby is that age, they change a lot as they grow. So I felt like their baby looked really different from the baby we saw in our last episode. Okay, so I guess Usiyacela is back from Durban because he's been in Durban for a while. They say that he's been in Durban for a long time, but they don't specify how long. I'm actually starting to think that Usiyacela is only coming back home when they are shooting. You know, I guess the producers managed to convince him he must come home when they are shooting. And also they're talking about the fact that he was supposed to fix the car. Apparently he got into a car accident and washayisa imoto, washayisa umuzi womuntu. So he was supposed to fix the car, but he was also supposed to fix the house that he actually damaged. And I think honestly, a lot of the times when you're watching a season of Isencane Lengane, we always feel like they don't have money when they are shooting. And then when they are off season, that's when you see them spend money, which would also give you the idea that maybe they will do the season and then get paid after. They don't get paid in advance for the season. But this season I'm getting clues zokuthi they do have a little bit of money. The fact that they're able to fix the car, because they usually have an issue with the car and all of that. The fact that they're able to fix the car while they're in season. He was talking about getting Umaki, the builder, to fix the house that he damaged. So it gives me sort of like an indication that they do have a little bit of money. But as well, maybe Mdletshe left some money to Usiyacela since he passed last year. I don't know, I'm not sure, you guys. They also talk about ulokhuzana indaba yomsebenzi kaBaba because Ntando believes the reason Usiyacela had the car accident is because he was not supposed to go anywhere until they had done umsebenzi kaBaba, which is the cleansing. So they feel like that needs to be done so that they can move ahead and do things like normal things that they're supposed to do, because she feels like maybe they're going to keep on getting into accidents if they're trying to move on with their lives without doing umsebenzi kababudlamuka. Okay, and then she talks about Ntando ukuthi she wants to go and visit her mom. Remember, her mom doesn't live back at home in Nkandla. Uhlala eThekwini, so she wants to go and see her, and she wants to talk to her mom about a DNA test. Okay, remember when the show started, you guys, ubaba Ntando was not in Ntando's life. In fact, he was never even mentioned until like maybe 2 seasons ago. Okay, Ntando had Ntando raise her as a single mom and then left her back at home with the grandmother and went to eThekwini. I don't know if she went to eThekwini eyozijolela nje or uye eThekwini to work, but Ntando was raised by the grandmother. There was no mention of the father ever participating in Ntando's life. And also when the father eventually came, he did mention that he wasn't there was a time when he wasn't sure whether Ntando was his because of I guess the behavior of mama, because umawake was intimate with him the first time that they met, so he was not sure whether Ntando really is his child. Okay, so now Ntando feels like they are struggling to connect with ubabwake for some reason, and she feels like she just wants to take a DNA test so that they can clarify that point whether he is really her father. She does say she's hoping umawake is not offended by her request, because if she's requesting a DNA test, it's like she's saying to her mom she doesn't trust her mom, what her mom says ubabwake is her father. Okay, and yeah, Usacela is very clear to say, listen, if he's not your father, I would be so happy because that guy is annoying. Okay, I feel the same, but I do feel like Ntando looks a little bit like her father, so it's possible that he is. But I also feel like the father is very annoying. He's an opportunist, so, and also he hasn't done anything for Ntando, so it sort of feels like even if he's not her father, it's not like Ntando is gonna lose anything. I feel like that. So Usacela say this is one of the very few times where I agree with Usacela. Listen, if this guy is not your father, it's actually a good thing because he's very annoying. Okay, so okay, and Ntando yena just feels like she hasn't received any love from her father, so she also doesn't see and it's gonna make a big difference if he's not the father. And also the thing that they touch on is the conflicts between Usacela and Ntando, because remember they did have an issue between the two of them where Ntando ended up etuka Usacela, because at that time Usacela was Ntando's mom was upset about the treatment Usacela on Ntando, and they ended up having that conflict and they were shouting at each other, and Ntando saw it Usacela. I can't remember the exact words, but I remember that scene. So now he is saying Usacela yena he doesn't have a relationship with Ntando, and he won't have one until Ntando apologizes for what she said, for swearing at him. So for him, I guess he will not be going with Ntando to visit umawake. Okay. And then the next scene, Ntando with Umamkulu. Remember, Mdletshe all along, you guys, I don't know if I'm the one that missed it, but Mdletshe, I've always thought that he had 2 wives, which was Umashange and Umamkulu. I can't remember who to Umamkulu. And then when the funeral came, when he passed and the funeral came, and we realized there's like 2 or 3 more wives, because there were so many other wives that were sitting there. Basically, even now, I think I saw like 4 women that are wearing inzila, you know. So Mdletshe apparently has many wives, had many wives and many children too. So now Ntando, I guess she was close to these 2 wives, which was Umashange and Umamkulu, which is the first wife. So they are making utshwala because kuzohlatshwa ekhaya. I don't know, but kuzokwenza umsebenzi kaBaba Mdletshe bathi kulahlwa ikhali zikaBaba Mdletshe. So ugogo ke sithe ukuthi ke ngoba basazilile and what not, uma ngabe ukhuluma uma egcekeni awuvele ume nje uqonde kumele ugobe, so you can't stand up straight because you know you're being respectful or whatever. So they're talking about I guess Ntando is just still going through a denial as far as ukushona kukaBaba Dlamuka. She still feels like she can't believe ukuthi uBaba Dlamuka is gone. Even umamkhulu says ukuthi yeah, it's hard, but you know, you get people that come and comfort you and all of that, and I mean we don't have a choice, we have to believe what now he's gone. So they are making umqombothi I guess for ukuthi kuya kuzokwenziwa whatever uxokozela lokho kuzokwenziwa for uBaba Dlamuka. And they both miss uBaba Dlamuka, Ntando kanye naye umamkhulu. From their talks they wish ukuthi he was there, but obviously he isn't. And then Ntando ke ask ugogo ukuthi are they going to go look for a job. I don't know, I thought it was such a stupid thing to actually ask ugogo omdala kanjani ukuthi ke does it mean ukuthi you guys are going to go now and look for jobs now that uBaba Dlamuka is no longer around. I feel like her age, that woman's age is, she must be old enough to actually be getting a government pension. So I don't think that for her it will be too much of a struggle. I guess she can live with that money. Maybe the person that will be affected the most is the younger wife, Umashange, and then the others, I don't know how old they are, but I guess everybody now has to fend for themselves, because they do mention uBaba Dlamuka was somebody that really took care of everybody in his family. So he was a breadwinner in all of the households, and so with him being gone, obviously they're going to see the difference. So anyway, they do get a diary session with Umashange, which is the younger wife, and she's saying the same. She cannot believe that uBaba Dlamuka is gone and how close she was to uBaba Dlamuka. And then yeah, so then they do go to the scene where now they're doing whatever rituals that they're supposed to do for the cleansing. They take which is ihawu nenduku, I think, and amadoda, the men, go to the river and they wash their faces, they wash their hands. Some people start fighting. One of those people is Umdu, and umamkhulu does mention ukuthi she does not know what's happening with Umdu, but sometimes she feels like Umdu he is losing his mind a little bit since uBaba Dlamuka passed. Okay, so and also I thought about the fact that last week they did mention Ntando they had a fight with Umdu, and he was saying that he does not want them at their house anymore. And you remember how previously how close Umdu no were, how much they loved each other. So it did surprise me that they had that falling out. So now we also see him here with Umamkhulu saying she feels like he is losing his mind a little bit. Okay, so bafika efuleni, they wash their hands, they wash their faces, base bayajikjela ke bajikjela amatshe. I guess amatshe nje is just an indication. It's like you are chasing death from the family, saying it's something that is done to sort of say, yes, we accept the death that has happened, but we don't want it to happen again, especially not so close to the other. So it's important that it's done in the family. And is like he does but he doesn't understand why they they're throwing stones. So it's almost like pretending to throw stones at death and chasing death away. So Usaqela was like he's not understanding why they're throwing stones, but there is something that is done when somebody has passed. And then also now I don't understand into ukulahla ikhali is like you are throwing away the direct translation means you are throwing away or getting rid of the weapons of the person that has passed. And they did have ihawu nenduku kaBaba Dlamuka while they were doing the whole ritual, but they don't actually get rid of it, because I actually thought you actually get rid of it. I've never seen it done. I've heard people say okay kulahlu ikhali, but I've never actually seen it done. But I thought that they actually do take ikhali and they throw it away or destroy it or maybe burn it or something. But they actually went back to the house nazo. So I don't know why they do it like that. Maybe they're supposed to put it back in the house, but they went back with it. Okay. So, and then while the men were doing that, also the wives left to go to the other side of the river. They got there Nabubakeza at the river, and then they went back to the house. So it's just a ritual, you guys, to cleanse the family, and maybe so that there isn't more deaths in the family, and so that they can move on with their lives and start doing normal stuff that because bebekade bezilile, so it's the end of the mourning period. Okay, so, and you know, everything seems to go well, you guys. And then there was it on that scene. And then the next one, we see Ntando no Siyacela preparing to go to Durban. They're going with their baby, and I don't know what the intention is. What did they say? They're going to Durban, hey? Why? They didn't say, but they say now I'm not sure if where because remember, they don't have a place in Durban. They would either go and stay with Umdu, who doesn't want them at his house anymore, or they would go and stay in Mdletshe. Remember, they did leave Mdletshe with was it cousin Kasiyacela. Now this time I don't know what's bazohlala kuphi, and they don't show us what's bazohlala kuphi. So from the scene of them leaving Nkandla to go to Durban, we see them next time already in Durban with going to a meeting with Siyacela. And maybe they were Mdletshe because a meeting takes place eyadini, which is at Mdletshe. So I guess maybe they were at Siyacela's cousin's house where Ntando lived when she was pregnant and waiting to give birth. So it will make sense ukuthi Mdletshe, then yeah, the meeting will take place eyadini. So now this is the crazy part. The crazy part is that it doesn't look like Siyacela has prepared Ntando for why they are going to eyadini, because Ntando, when she gets there, she's surprised. It's actually the whole point of them going to eyadini. Number one, she wasn't aware that they're going to eyadini. She only saw when she saw the sign eyadini, and then she didn't know that they're actually going there to meet Mato. So they get there. There is Mato sitting down. So I guess they're having a sit down with Mato. Siyacela says she wants them to know each other. Honestly, I don't understand that. I don't understand that, why you would want your wife to meet your girlfriend, but I guess that's it. Now Mato says she wants to meet Ntando. I did say last week that I don't understand what would be the point of you wanting to meet somebody's wife when you are a girlfriend. But yeah, okay. Ntando in the diary says she logos utema lona Mato, and she's like, hey, anyway, if I was Ntando, I wouldn't have sat down for that meeting, because number one, she was not told to go to there is a meeting, who she's meeting at the meeting, what's the purpose. So it was like an ambush in a way. So but then they go there, they sit down, and they start talking, because Ntando wanted answers in terms of what are we doing here, what is this meeting about. And Siyacela tries to explain, no, Mato wanted to meet you. So she asks Mato, so why did you want to meet me? And so I showed no bengfuna nje ukukwazi, I guess. And then Ntando was surprised by the fact that Siyacela and Mato are still together, because obviously Siyacela lied to her and said that they were no longer together. And he said yes, and Mato also says the same thing. That's the reason she wanted to meet Ntando, because she knows Siyacela lies to her and says they've broken up, but they haven't broken up. Okay, and then yeah, Ntando did the craziest thing. I don't know what was the point of this, but asked Siyacela aqabule Mato so that she could see they are still together. I mean, if people are there. If people are there saying they are still together, why would you want them to kiss so that you can see that they are together? it was the craziest thing, okay? But like I said, with every season that we watch of Isencane Lengane, we see the craziest thing. So she insists, she keeps insisting that they must kiss each other. It's like qabulanani ke khona ngizobona ukuthi nindaweni, qabulanani ukuthi khona ngizobona ukuthi nindaweni. Now when they eventually decide that they are going to kiss, she gets upset, and that's when she takes a drink. Now these producers had set up, because there were 3 people in the meeting. There was Ntando, uSiyacela kanye noLukhuzana noMato, but in front of them there were 2 drinks, and the drinks was, there was a drink in front of Ntando, there was a drink in front of uMato. I felt like there was a setup. They were basically giving them, the 2 of them, weapons, indirectly giving them weapons, because why wasn't there a drink in front of uSiyacela? And if you know what's the potential, there is a potential for these people to fight, you are going to move away everything that these people might use to actually hurt each other in that way, so that even if they get into a fight, it's gonna be like them getting into the fights with their hands. They're not gonna throw things at each other. But they didn't do that. I feel like Mdletshe did that as a setup, honestly, and I feel like they're being unfair to these 2 ladies, because they knew that meeting was going to be an upsetting situation. Because if for whatever reason somebody throws a glass or a bottle at somebody and they injure them, that is going to be a criminal case, and the person is going to deal with that as an individual. Mdletshe will not be able to help them with that. So I did feel like they were being unfair in setting that scene like that. They should have moved everything that can potentially cause an accident between the 2 people. So and then Ntando gets upset when they are trying to kiss each other, takes a glass, I guess a drink or coke, throws it at wathela uMato, but then kwathela noSiyacela, and so ke impi isuka kanjalo. I think Mato tried to calm herself down, but then, I mean, obviously, if someone throws a drink at you, at some point, you're going to stand up and fight for yourself. I think the funny part was Ntando trying to clean uSiyacela ke manje esemsula ke drink, ngoba phela uSiyacela bengamele athele uSiyacela ngedrink, so besezama ukusula uSiyacela usayi sorry wena sithando sami bengaqondile ukuthela wena, bengithi ngithela lo bengithi ngithela lo. Ntando says ukuthi she is fighting a girl because ngeke azalo nendoda yakhe, meaning she won't fight with uSiyacela because into yabo bona bazoyilungisa ekamerweni. So she's fighting with a girl, which totally doesn't make sense. As Ntando is a very intelligent girl, but when it comes to USiyacela, she's not very intelligent at all. Okay. So they're now going through this war of words, now and then they throwing things at each other. I think at some point Ntando threw the extra glass at uMato, and uMato was trying to defend itself. I think there were times where she threw a fist here and there, and yeah, but it wasn't really getting the because obviously there was security there, but they did try and fight, and there was war of words. uMato, I guess she's talking about Ntando doesn't akekho muhle umzimba wakhe mubi because usanda kuzala yena wazala wabanjani njani. Honestly, it's a crazy thing because these 2 girls are going at each other and even body shaming each other for uSiyacela, you know. For any other guy maybe, but for this one, like, yeah. And then obviously the fight goes outside, and that's when we realize actually that outside Mdu was there waiting for them. Okay, Mdu is like shocked now what's happening, because he's hearing abantu bayalwa bayathukana and all of that. uSiyacela was just not saying anything. He was just trying to push Mato and then pushing Ulona. Ntando, he was just weeping. His 2 pets I saw in Nanjavale. And then yeah, he was trying to get Ntando into the car so that they could leave, because then he says yes, he does know about Siyacela's girlfriends, but when it comes to things like this, the person that he is supposed to protect is Ntando, because Kubo, that's the only person who olotsholiwe. So umakoti kubo is Ntando and Ntando only. So that's the person that he's always going to protect, and so that's what he was trying to do. And all of that, you guys, that scene you'll have to watch it to understand how funny it was, but at the same time how disappointing it is that girls can do that really for a guy that doesn't really do anything for them. That is just not worth it at all, because apparently there's rumors that Useacela also has other girlfriends besides Umato. And yeah, you guys, I don't know why Useacela took his wife there, but he did. Okay, so that was the scene tonight, you guys. Obviously Useacela is always like to Ntando to say they have broken up with Umato, and I guess at some point they were broken up because last episode Umato did say she even had another boyfriend now. So Useacela came back and asked her to get back with her, which I don't know why he did that, because he should have just continued with life with his wife and forgot about Indaba, but he didn't. Yeah, you guys, that was the episode. Honestly, last night, I don't know what's gonna happen now with Ntando, Useacela kanye naye ilukhuzana Umato. I feel like at the end of the day, Ntando is not gonna go anywhere. I think she's just going to put up with the shenanigans zika Siacela until, I guess, forever, you know, until forever. Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for from last night. Please go into the comment section and tell me what you thought about last night's episode. Also, please do not forget to like the video. Please share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngithanda kakhulu.